So we are going to do this boat today, like this one, but this one is still under construction. So we're gonna take this cruise ankle cruises. We started embarking it. The boat started to move.
Alright guys, we'll take a look at the right side here. You'll be able to see the Big Club Harbor Lighthouse. This was constructed in 1885 for a total cost of $675. The first lightkeeper here, Abraham Davis, maintained this for about $100 a year. It is still fully functioning today. So before it was constructed, one of the first settlers to Big Club Harbor, Charles Earl, put a lantern on a pole to help guide the vessels into our harbor here. So as we head in here, this is Canada's deepest natural freshwater harbor. Right about here where we're sitting at the lighthouse is, it's about 80 feet deep. But as we make our way in toward two 19th century shipwrecks, it goes to about 10 or 15 feet deep. We will be there in about 5 minutes. I will let you guys know some more information once we get a little closer. If you guys take a look to the right here again, you'll be able to see this red and white Coast Guard vessel. So this is the Cape Commodore. What makes this one so special here is that it is self-righting, which means that if it were to tip over or capsize, with 360 degrees, come right back up. Wow. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Alright guys, for a minute or two here, we will be coming to a masted wooden schooner built in Burlington, Ontario in 1867. And she was used to carry coal through our Great Lakes. It was 218 gross tons, 108 the front of our boat now, so here it'll be here in a few seconds.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Before we spin here, this is our second shipwreck over at the shore. It's a great view from over here, but we will be going over in a little bit. This one we're on top of is a Sweepstakes.
Oh, unbelievable.
Can you see man? Becomes tourist attraction this.
The insides of the shipwrecks as a respiratory air bubble, speeding up the decaying process. The ship is in great condition considering it's been under the water for 136 years. So there are the microphone. We just don't like to use the microphone inside the harbor just to respect the cottagers and nearby vessels. So the waters end at 580 feet deep. The deep open waters, shallow coastal wetlands, and remote islands of Fathom 5 provide a diverse habitat for many species, including several rare or species at risk. The Fathom 5 is also part of a dark sky reserve, so it has some of the darkest skies here in North America, which is critical to local ecology and culture. If you take a look off our left-hand side there, all the way in the distance, you'll be able to see that large white vessel there heading off over Manitoulin Island. So that is the Chi-Chi-Mon. So it is a passenger in-car ferry that takes people from Tilbury all the way to Manitoulin Island and back. So it can carry about 150 varying-sized vehicles and about 650 passengers. So in the native Ojibwe language, the word Chi-Chi-Mon actually translates to big canoe. So what we like to say, at 365 feet long, that's one really big canoe.
Wow. We're gonna use right on that later. So this is what? Jordan Bay. This is Tobermory, so the Manitoulin Island will go that side, as you can see. That's Manitoulin Island. We'll be using that boat later.
And looking off our left hand, this lighthouse was built back in 1855 to 1858, making it the oldest and tallest lighthouse here in the Marine Park, standing at 85 feet tall. It was also the last manned lighthouse in all of the Great Lakes, with someone being in its facility up until 1991. This lighthouse rests on Cove Island, which is also the largest island here in the Marine Park, with a total area of 2,000 acres. It's home to its own inland lake, with a population of marine life and a small population of black bear. But for those of you wondering, there are no known black bears out on Flowerpot Island. Out on the island, some of the wildlife that you may come across today include snakes, spiders, squirrels, bunnies, and possibly otters. And if you keep your eyes peeled on the tops of the trees there, you may even spot a bald or golden eagle, as they've been known to fly around the area. And the steel tower that you see there today was built to replace it. And just as we're coming up on the beach here, you'll see those three red and white buildings there. So starting with the one closest to us on the right-hand side, that would have been the lightkeeper's home, where him and his family would have stayed from the months April through to December to ensure that the light stayed lit. The middle place would have been the lightkeeper's assistant's home, and the third one on the left-hand side, that would have been their workshop and boathouse. Eventually, the lightkeeper was removed from the island in 1987, which left these three buildings abandoned. But in 1996, a group of volunteers called the Friends of Fathom 5 came to the island to restore the buildings, and they ended up turning that one on the right-hand side there into a museum. And if you look up onto the exposed cliff face there, you'll see a very large opening. So that is actually one of the caves that we have here on the island. There are 210 documented caves all over Flowerpot Island. So around 12,000 years ago, the glacial Lake Algonquin used to cover this entire island. But as the lake levels began to recede, which they did so in stages, the water would erode the cliff's surface, leaving behind all the caves we have over the island today.
So there's a little cave there. That's why it's sad. There's a house there.
make our way past the larger flower pot, if you take a look back at it in the upper right-hand corner, you'll start to see the side profile of a face. Still see the eyes, nose, and mouth. We like to call this the old man of Flowerpot Island. And if you look up ahead at the smaller flower pot here and the adjacent cliff, it looks like at one point in time they could have been connected together. So it's believed that many years ago this could have been the entrance to a cave. But once again, as erosion occurred, the top of that cave became very weak, eventually collapsing, leaving behind the freestanding pillar. As we've been making our way around the island, you may have noticed an orange substance growing on some of the rocks there. So that's actually a living organism by the name of elegant sunburst lichen, and it's the main reason for the vegetation out here on Flowerpot Island. After many years of its decay and decomposition, it builds up enough soil and nutrients to allow for the cedar trees to grow directly off of the rocks. Some of the cedar trees here on the island could be upwards of 800 years old. Alright folks, so in just a short moment here, we will be arriving at Beachy Cove. This is just a reminder that you are now entering a National Park of Canada, so please ensure anything you take off the vessel with you now returns back on with you later today, including all garbage. Remember to stay on the trail to minimize your impact to the island, as well as to avoid contact with poison ivy. It's illegal to disturb or collect anything from the island, and please refrain from carving in any
Look at this. Look at that. So there is a trail also in this beautiful Flowerpot Island. So people are swimming in this island. The water is very nice. So the ferry is here now to pick us up from the island. Please hit like and comments if any. Hope you like this video. Thank you.